Hello everyone, greetings of the day, and I welcome you to the world of nutraceuticals again today, introducing you to nutraceuticals which are used for skin and hair. So for the use of nutraceuticals, let us first see at the physiology of skin. Skin is the largest organ of the body and performs several vital physiological functions. So these nutraceuticals are used for the good health of the skin and also for improving the quality of skin. So they can be used as cosmetics and as therapeutic agents as nutraceuticals. These nutraceuticals when used act as a protective barrier. It helps in thermoregulation, sensation and metabolic functions which are the normal functions of a skin. So generally the skin, which is our largest organ, is responsible for all this, for protective barrier, thermoregulation, sensation and different metabolic functions. So when there is an up or down regulations of these functions, that is where when we use different kind of nutraceuticals as therapeutic agents or as cosmetics. So looking at the structure of the skin, it has three important layers. The topmost is the epidermis, which provides barrier and protection. The middle is the dermis, which provides strength and elasticity, and the hypodermis or subcutaneous, which is the deepest third layer, which insulates and cushions. So the epidermis has keratinocytes, melanocytes, Langerhans cells and Merkel cells, and these are responsible for our skin color. The elasticity or tone of the skin depends on the health of the dermis, which contains collagen, elastin, blood vessels, nerves and sweat glands, and the hypodermis, which has adipose tissue, connective tissue and larger blood vessels. The major function, which is the protection, it acts as a physical barrier and protects the human body against mechanical injury, protects against pathogens and against harmful chemicals. It is a very important barrier for immune protection, body regulation, to protect the body and internal organs against radiation, against any kind of sensitivity, and helps in storing all the important constituents of the body. The keratin in the epidermis makes the skin tough and waterproof. Melanin protects the skin against UV, and sebum has antimicrobial properties. Thermoregulation with the help of sweat glands, it helps to maintain the body temperature and thus protect the internal organs. The blood vessels are protected and it decides the vasodilation and vasoconstriction. The subcutaneous fat, it insulates against cold. Sensation, the skin is very useful as a sensory organ and it helps us to identify objects or food by touch, by pressure, by pain and by temperature receptor, and thus the body responds to these different stimuli. The metabolic functions, skin synthesizes vitamin D from the UV light exposure, and this is very much essential for the calcium absorption. The excretion from the sweat glands, where small amounts of urea, ammonia, salts and water is excreted as waste removal. Immunological functions, the Langerhans cells act as antigen presenting cells, providing an important immune defense, and this is the first line of defense when anything attacks the human body. The skin helps in absorption of vitamin A, D, E, K, some drugs, and also is responsible for throwing some toxins out of the body. Hence, the major functions can be summarized as protection, sensation, thermoregulation, metabolism, excretion, immunity, and absorption. Before use of any nutraceutical or any therapeutic agent or any cosmetic for the skin, it is very important to know the physiology of skin. So, whether a nutraceutical or therapeutic agent is required for the epidermis, whether there are problems with the dermis, whether we want to retain the elasticity of the skin, in such conditions we have to design a nutraceutical or a herbal cosmetic which enters the dermis and acts here. So, whether it is for the sweat gland, if there is a blockage of sweat gland, or whether we are trying to improve the dermis or the hair of the skin, depending on this the use of nutraceutical is decided. So, these are some of the skin problems for which there is a big demand of nutraceuticals. Premature aging. So, this is how it looks before age if the skin loses its elasticity or there are development of wrinkles, fine lines on the face. This is called premature aging. Dryness and uneven tone due to UV exposure and oxidative stress. Oxidative stress can be internal and external. So, it can be endogenous because of release of lot of free radicals in the body during the metabolic processes, or it can be exogenous when the body is exposed to external free radicals. Nutraceuticals such as vitamin C and E are potent antioxidants. They can protect against UV induced oxidative damage. Collagen peptides which improve the skin elasticity and hydration. Coenzyme Q10, CoQ10 which enhances the mitochondrial function and reduces the oxidative stress. Polyphenols from resveratrol, green tea and catechins which protect collagen and elastin, and carotenoids like beta carotene, lycopene and astaxanthin which act as natural sun protectants. The skin type, very dry skin, very oily skin also demands the need of nutraceuticals. So, excess sebum production, inflammation, bacterial overgrowth and clogged pores, these are the problems which gives rise to acne and oily skin. And nutraceuticals like zinc which reduces inflammation and sebum production, omega 3 fatty acids which act as anti-inflammatory and balance the skin lipids, vitamin A and retinoids which regulate keratinization, use of probiotics which balances the gut microbiota. So, the gut microbiota, a clean gut is responsible for a clean skin. It thus reduces the systemic inflammation. Niacinamide, which is vitamin B3, it improves the barrier function and reduces the acne lesions. A dry skin which leads to psoriasis, itching, redness and inflammation. So, plant derived ceramides which are used as nutraceuticals are known to be very beneficial for dry skin. They restore the skin barrier and improve the skin health. Gamma linolenic acid from evening primrose oil or borage oil reduces inflammation. Vitamin D which modulates immune function of the skin. A lot of probiotics and prebiotics again improve the gut health and are known to improve the skin health. Antioxidants like vitamin E and selenium reduce the oxidative damage caused to skin. Hyperpigmentation, where you can see dark spots due to melanin overproduction due to long exposure to UV damage or hormonal imbalance. Nutraceuticals like vitamin C, glutathione, polypodium, luctamose extract, niacinamide and carotenoids are known to be very useful to protect hyperpigmentation of skin. Psoriasis and other inflammatory skin disorders. This is chronic inflammation of the skin leading to scaling, redness and immune dysregulation. So, nutraceuticals like omega 3 fatty acids, curcumin and vitamin D along with selenium are found useful for psoriasis. The hair and nail problem. This is again associated with skin health, hair thinning, brittle hairs and poor keratin structure. So, here nutraceuticals like vitamin B7, zinc, iron improves the hair and nail strength. So, there are a lot of nutraceutical sources for iron. Vegetables like beetroot also help in maintaining the skin health. Collagen, peptides and amino acids further strengthen the connective tissue and improve the skin health. So, the skin problems like aging and wrinkles can be treated with nutraceuticals like vitamin C, CoQ10, collagen and resveratrol. Acne can be treated with zinc, omega 3 fatty acids, probiotics. The dry skin or eczema which leads to constant itching can be treated with ceramides, vitamin D and probiotics. Pigmentation can be treated again with carotenoids, vitamin C, psoriasis with omega 3 fatty acids, curcumin which is an excellent anti-inflammatory and antibacterial agent. Vitamin D and selenium is also used, and for hair and nail health, biotin, zinc, collagen and silica can be used. There are other problems like dark circles, blackheads which are associated with the skin health, and different vitamins like the omega 3 fatty acids, curcumin help in treating these problems. Coming to nutraceuticals which are used for hair, and there are a lot of herbal formulations as nutraceuticals and as herbal cosmetics which are used for treating hair. Looking at the physiology of hair, we should know that when a nutraceutical is designed, whether it is to treat the hair shaft or whether it is to treat the root of the hair. When we are trying to treat the root of the hair, this should penetrate the epidermal layer and should be absorbed by the root. So, each hair is keratinized structure that grows from a hair follicle, a specialized invagination of the epidermis into the dermis. The hair shaft is the visible part. This is the hair shaft above the skin surface, and it is composed of dead keratinized cells. The hair root, which is below the skin, is enclosed within the follicle. The hair bulb is the expanded base of the follicle and contains the cell matrix that actively divides and forms the hair. Dermal papilla is a cone shaped projection at the base of the bulb. This one, the small growth which we see here, which is rich in blood vessels and growth factors. So, this small tiny thing is responsible for the hair growth. The layers of the shaft, outer layer which is called the cuticle. This is the cuticle, the cortex, center cortex, and this is the medulla of the hair. So, a nutraceutical is designed as per the need of treatment for these three different layers. Each follicle has an outer root sheath and inner root sheath, sebaceous gland, erector pili muscle and a sensory nerve ending. So, many a times when hair is oily or secreting excess sebum, we need to design a nutraceutical use for the sebaceous gland. Studying the growth cycle helps us select a nutraceutical to be delivered for a particular phase of hair growth. So, anagen is the growth phase which takes 2 to 6 years and is the longest phase where the matrix cell divides actively. Catagen is a transition phase which just takes place for in 2 to 3 weeks. Here the growth stops, the follicle shrinks and the lower part regresses. Telogen is hair shedding. So, after these two phases the old hair starts shedding, and exogen is where the old hair dies and falls off. So, hair loss occurs when the anagen shortens or the telogen lengthens. Melanocytes in the hair bulb produce melanin which are transferred into keratinocytes, and this decides the color of the hair. A dark pigment, a dark high secretion of melanin usually leads to brown or black hair, and lighter pigments are responsible for lighter tones of the hair. So, there are two pigments, eomelanin and pheomelanin, which are responsible for the color of the hair. So, there are nutraceuticals and actives present in herb for secretion of the hair pigment. So, when we want to change the color of the hair, there is no drastic change, but when we want to at least retain the black or brown hair, so we can prevent the graying of hair by increasing the growth of melanocytes. So, loss of melanocyte activity is seen with age, and this can be delayed or retained by use of nutraceuticals. Hair growth is also influenced by hormonal changes, by the nutrition and by local factors. So, by increase in androgen or testosterone which stimulates the beard and pubic hair, this may cause scalp hair loss. So, alopecia is seen as an androgenic activity. Estrogen prolongs the anaphase. So, the onset of maturity or the onset of menstrual cycle, the estrogen activity where it increases, it prolongs the anagen phase. Thyroid hormones which maintain the normal growth and pigmentation, growth factors which promote follicle cell proliferation, cortisol, chronic elevation shortens anagen, and nutritional factors which are required for keratin synthesis and follicle function. The keratin is almost 65 to 95% and is responsible for structural strength and elasticity. So, it is very important to design a nutraceutical to protect this protein of the hair. Water is just 10 to 15%, lipids are 1 to 9% which retain the shine of the hair, and melanin is variable from individual to individual. Trace elements are less than 1%. What are the factors which decide the hair health? The nutritional deficiency. If there is an iron, zinc, biotin or protein deficiency, this leads to hair loss or brittleness. So, even while combing or just by putting your hand in the hair, you will find your hair falling down, that is brittleness or increase in the split ends. All this is because of deficiency of these elements, and a nutraceutical rich in this is a simple treatment for treating hair loss or brittleness. Hormonal imbalance like the thyroid which leads to either hair thinning or hirsutism, where lot of hair is seen on the face, neck and hand. Stress, cortisol induced telogen. So, we see many a times when a person is under stress, there is big hair loss. So, it leads to excessive shedding. Medications like chemotherapy, it leads to uh, affecting the anagen phase, and hence there is hair loss. Diseases like alopecia sets in because of autoimmune or inflammatory loss, and environmental exposure to UV or pollution sets in oxidative damage and fading of hair. So, this when you see hair loss in patches, this is called alopecia. Hair loss from the front is called androgenetic alopecia. This is the telogen loss when we see in the center, and excessive hair seen on the face is hirsutism. Alopecia may be an autoimmune attack on the hair bulb. Androgenetic may be because of the DHT induced follicle miniaturation, telogen premature shift from anagen to telogen, and hirsutism may be because of excess androgen, which causes terminal hair, especially in females and males. So, summary: the hair is a keratinized product of epidermal cells, and the growth cycle is anagen to telogen. It is controlled by hormones, nutrition, genetics and local factors. So, wherever there are hair problems and known to be genetic, nutraceuticals can be used before the onset of disease. Hair problems and role of nutraceuticals: the hair health reflects internal metabolic balance, and nutrient deficiencies, hormonal imbalance, oxidative stress and inflammation can all impair hair follicle cycling, the keratin synthesis and pigmentation, and use of the right nutraceutical can reverse or can delay the onset of diseases. So, for hair loss, for the alopecia type of hair loss, or for shortened anaphase and prolonged telophase, there are different kinds of nutraceuticals which are used: biotin, zinc, iron and vitamin D, which help in strengthening the hair shaft, reducing androgenic hair, restoring the normal growth cycle and stimulating anagen initiation. Omega 3 fatty acid help in reducing inflammation. The palmetto extract is used in males and females. It is a natural 5 alpha reductor inhibitor and helps in hair growth. Cysteine, coenzyme Q10, B complex and vitamins which are used for maintaining the follicle metabolism and oxygenation. For dry, dull and brittle hair, so this can be because of exposure to UV, because of use of dye, because of use of strong chemicals on the hair. There is reduced lipid and water content in the cortex, and this is because of damage of UV, heat or chemicals, and further protein and essential fatty acid intake can improve the dullness of hair. Key nutraceuticals like omega 3 fatty acids, vitamin A, ceramides, collagen and silica present in bamboo or horsetail extract can help in restoring the shine and brittleness. It improves smoothness, strengthening the barrier and preventing moisture loss, improves the tensile strength and elasticity and reduces the breakage of hair. Another problem seen these days commonly is the premature graying of hair at a small age we can see lot of hair graying. This is because of loss of melanocyte function and decreased tyrosinase enzyme activity because of oxidative stress and deficiency of trace elements like copper, iron and B12. So, this premature graying, nutraceutical rich in copper, the catalase enzyme, vitamin B12 and folate, antioxidants like vitamin C, E and polyphenols, the para-amino benzoic acid PABA which are found in some supplements help in restoring the graying of hair, or it delays the onset of graying of hair. Seborrhea, where we find the scalp very oily, and this leads to some kind of infection where the scalp starts scaling. This is called dandruff. And an overactive sebaceous gland where there is excess sebum, this causes Malaysia yeast to grow and an inflammation of the scalp. This is because of deficiency of certain vitamin B and zinc. Nutraceuticals like zinc, vitamin B6, omega 3 fatty acids, probiotics and selenium can be used to treat the scalp infection, where it improves the scalp condition, restores the microbial balance and is used for dandruff control. Hair thinning is because of inadequate protein, minerals or vitamins which disrupt the matrix cell division and keratin synthesis, and this can be treated with nutraceuticals which are rich in proteins or amino acids, a lot of nuts and pulses which are rich in proteins and amino acids, iron and vitamin C, vegetables containing iron, fruits containing vitamin C, vitamin A, B complex and zinc and selenium help in retaining the hair by preventing the telogen phase, maintains the scalp health and supports rapid follicle turnover. Hair aging, which reduces the collagen vascularity and follicular activity with age and causes oxidative damage and hormonal decline. This can be treated with collagen peptides, CoQ10, polyphenols, vitamin D and vitamin E. So, to summarize, different kind of hair problems can be delayed or treated with use of the right nutraceutical. Hair loss can be treated with biotin, zinc, iron, vitamin D, where it stimulates growth and improves the follicular metabolism. Dry and brittle hair can be treated with omega 3 fatty acid, vitamin 3, where it restores hydration, structure and shine. Premature graying can be delayed by use of copper, catalase B12, antioxidants, where it supports melanin synthesis and protects melanocytes. Dandruff can be treated with zinc, omega 3 fatty acids, probiotics, selenium, where it controls the sebum, reduces inflammation and can give a scalp free from dandruff. Nutritional thinning with proteins, amino acids, iron, vitamin C and zinc, and aging of hair can be prevented with collagen CoQ10, which improves elasticity and reduces oxidative aging. The hair health, to summarize, depends on keratin metabolism, follicle cycling and scalp micronutrients, and hence the right use of nutraceutical at the right time can enhance cellular energy and collagen synthesis, providing antioxidant and anti-inflammatory support, supplying essential vitamins, minerals and amino acids, regulating hormonal and enzymatic pathways, where it helps in giving a nice healthy hair. Nutraceuticals provide vital bioactive nutrients that enhance skin and hair health by promoting cellular repair, collagen synthesis and antioxidant protection. They help counteract the adverse effects of pollution, stress and nutritional deficiencies very commonly seen with today's lifestyle, which leads to premature aging, pigmentation and hair loss. By regulating key biochemical pathways such as keratin formation, hormonal balance, oxidative defense, where nutraceuticals support leads to natural regeneration. So, the overall nutraceutical represent a safe, preventive and holistic strategy for achieving and maintaining healthy, radiant skin and strong, lustrous hair from within. Herbs which are used in cosmetics and nutraceuticals, as they provide natural, safe, effective, multifunctional benefits for skin and hair and overall beauty, while aligning with the growing preference for sustainable and chemical free products. Thank you.